Good day, brothers and sisters. I have a word for you today that is from Barry Wunsch, the Canadian Hammer. He shared this 4 days ago, but he felt that he needed to share it again. So this word comes from a prophetic encounter. The Federal Reserve Justice is upon us, January the 18th, 2023. Respectfully submitted, Barry Wunsch. And this should be very encouraging to you because it is a word that is about to come to pass. This morning, as I went about my day, I kept hearing the words Federal Reserve. I must have heard it half a dozen times. As I pulled aside and began to pray, I was immediately taken by the Spirit into the United States Federal Reserve. There I was in the Federal Reserve server room. It was bright, very well lit, and had rows of racking and servers humming along. I watched as a team of highly specialized techs worked behind the servers. I could see them, but they were mostly transparent. I knew that they each were connected into the system, some on the inside and more from the outside, but all were working on the same project. They were tracing the identifying connections from other nations, banks, stock exchanges, and Wall Street. They were preparing to cut each line off from old server, for the new system was very soon to be fired up. These Federal Reserve servers were at maximum capacity and were not going to last much longer. The system was in trouble and the verge of a fatal crash. This team was diligently working behind the scenes, tracing each line, each connection into the system and preparing for the changeover. This system was outdated, had served its purpose for a time, but was now done. There was a new system ready to go to replace this old server. It was a quantum system, nothing like ever seen before. Years in development and ready to roll out. It was smaller, more compact, and lighting speed faster than anything before. I saw a case open up and the inside core looked like the most perfect diamond, crystal clear and bright. It reflected the radiated light in the way I had never seen. The light burst out of it was as bright as the sun. There was something very new and different about this technology. It was the future. I was then taken out of the server room, down the hallway to an elevator. Up we went. The elevator doors opened into a hall with offices running down both sides. As I walked down the hallway, things were running hot. Conversations were loud, passionate, and animated. The Federal Reserve had been troubled before, but never this bad. Agents were pleading with those they were talking to, trying to hold it together with all they had. The men and women working in the phones in the state of panic. It had suddenly gotten real. There was nothing like anything that they had faced before. They were negotiating here and there with banks, Wall Street, stock exchanges in the USA and abroad, trying to hold things together. But this time it was different. There was a room full of agents working the phones, speaking foreign languages, explaining things, negotiating as hard as they could to other nations and governments, foreign investors and stockholders, trying to navigate the storm. And what was happening as I continued down the hallway, there were agents dealing with governments, agencies, going through the realms of reports, searching for ways and places to cut because there was just wasn't enough to go around. Way things were. Others being prepped for next steps when it goes down and how to deal with the fallout. A little further down the hall was another meeting room, and there was a group of political leaders being briefed as to what was on the verge of happening and what the potential ramifications were going to be. The room was very somber. Emotions and tensions were running high. It was a power cake ready to blow. Another room had a team plotted how they could spin this crash in a way to blame Trump and the Republicans, when it was clear in their briefing discussions the Democrats themselves were to blame, and they knew it. They had to try to spin it because they would not be able to hide it any longer. Everything was going to be exposed. There was a set of locked security glass doors in the end of the hallway, where there was a group of journalists standing with cameras and microphones in hand, prepared to attack with questions. This was going to be Historic, major breaking, big news. Holy Spirit then spoke clearly to me. Barry, tell my people it is time for the takedown, and it is time for the wealth transfer to be released. Yes, it is time for the wealth transfer to be released. It is time to pull the plug on the most corrupt system of all, and those who think that they can control it. They have raped and pillaged my people for far too long. They have held my people in slavery, and the day is upon them, you for freedom. Watch as I dismantle this system that has held my people in bondage. What I have started cannot be stopped. It is time to remove those who have controlled the purse strings. It is time to take back the purse. Never again shall it be in their hands. For all that was gained through their unrighteous means shall be returned 100-fold to my people. I will see to it that the justice is served, and the slave masters shall be apprehended and brought to justice. The roundup is about to begin. They will turn on one another like left, right, and center to try to save themselves, but in the end, justice will be served to all. Watch as I pull the clinch pin they have held and protected at all costs. They are about to lose all control. I am taking it out of their hands, and it will be there today and gone tomorrow. The day they have dreaded is upon them. Very tell my people, do not fear, do not be afraid, for even though it may appear like the end is near, a new day is dawning. Draw together and draw near to me, for you remain in me, and I will meet you in your need. Holy is the word of the Lord. Respectfully submitted, Barry Wunsch, the Canadian Hammer. So I really hope that this blesses you today, because it has really blessed me. God bless you, brothers and sisters.